Let's get a quick take on the Aurora City Council proposal that would make it easier for developers to build condos without fear of being sued over construction defects. Calhoun from Westward. Now, this has failed at the legislature a couple of times. Now cities are taking it up by themselves. Is this an effective way to do it?
Well, in Aurora, it certainly will be an effective way to do it. I can't see that city council quibbling over passing something like this. In Denver, which is making some noise about doing the same, I think would have a much tougher time passing. But if the legislature is not going to do anything, certainly plenty of towns are going to take initiative themselves. David
Kopel from the Penn Institute and DU Law School. Opinion-wise, do you think this is the way it should be done? Should local control be reigning here where cities deem if they fix this kind of a problem, or really should it be a state law and the cities are cleaning up that mess?
The ideal would be a state law, but that can't pass right now, so Aurora is doing the right thing to move forward. You know, Senator Jesse Ulibarri, very left-wing Democrat, was the leader in the attempt to pass construction defects reform, because he correctly says that for a lot of people, buying the condo is the first step you take from being in an apartment where you're paying rent to having your own place, building equity, part of the American dream. There's so much talk these days about affordable housing. Well, that's what condos are. That's housing that gets built, doesn't need to be subsidized by the taxpayers, that people can actually afford to live in. And having an out-of-control system where you're sort of certain that if you build a condo, you'll get sued, of course, devastates the construction of condos. So good for Aurora.
Penn Tate, attorney with Greenberg Traurig, also a former state lawmaker. Do you think the legislature next session will take this as a cue of, hey, there's obviously some support for this, we should make it happen? Or will they take it as a way of saying, well, they're going to take care of themselves, we don't need to worry about it?
I think that they'll take it as a cue and pass some statewide legislation to preempt all of these cities, and for good measure. If you look behind what a number of these cities are doing and why there's problems getting this passed on a statewide level, number one, there's no assurance that if you modify construction defects that developers will build affordable housing. They're going to build what makes the most money. Number two, you've got to question the policy on a statewide and local level if you're going to let insurance companies drive what sort of housing stock you get in your communities based on how they decide to underwrite construction of projects and contractors anyway. So hopefully the state legislature will step in. There's a middle ground there in terms of modifying the law, protecting people's property rights and their investment in property, but also ensuring you get the mix of housing that our communities so desperately need.
Ed Seelever, reporter of the Denver Business Journal, are also our man on Capitol Hill. You've seen the fights, you've seen how the failures too to pass this bill at the Hill. Do you think there's momentum now to maybe see it happen since cities are taking it up themselves?
Well, I mean, give the local authorities credit. They said, as they went through this, knowing they were fighting a losing battle last year, they said, well, if the legislature won't do anything, we'll do it ourselves. And sure enough, they are doing it themselves. I don't think we're going to have enough time pass where the legislature can look at the effect of these laws yet. I mean, after these pass, you've still got to then go out and find developers who want to build, and those developers have to build condos, and then they have to actually, get sued to test out the merits of this law. But I think what's really interesting to me is you've seen Lakewood be the first city to do this. Well, Lakewood State Rep Max Tyler is the leading House opponent of construction defect reform. Now you're seeing Aurora do it, and Senator Morgan Carroll of Aurora basically single-handedly killed this bill in 2014. So the question has to be, who's out of touch with the local population here? Are the city councils doing things their citizens don't want, or are the legislators not doing things their citizens want? I think maybe by the time the elections come around for municipal slots later this year, we'll have some idea of that answer.